If you're like me, and God help you if you are, you don't need a big, expensive, heavy, and cumbersome adventure bike to do 99% of the stuff that you want to do on two wheels. Ask me how I know. Yeah, I realize I'm technically riding an adventure bike. It's in the name, actually. The Moto Guzzi V85 TT Adventure. But this isn't about this bike specifically. It's about the idea of buying into the marketing hype and trendiness surrounding big, expensive, complicated machines that promise a lot, but fail to deliver on the main objective, being a fun, well-rounded, and easy motorcycle. I recently traded my 2024 Triumph Tiger 900 for the V85. On paper, they have some similarities. They're roughly the same size engine and roughly the same weight. But that's kind of where the similarities end. The reason I bought the Tiger, the reason I'm sort of a moron, is because I fell for the hype. I saw folks conquering the world on bikes like the Tiger, and I thought I needed one to do the same. I thought there was no way I'd want to travel across America on anything less. But the truth is, the Tiger was too much bike for me. Not that I couldn't handle it, I just didn't want to. The more I started planning my trip, the more I just wanted to take my Triumph Scrambler 900, because it's the perfect bike for me. The reality is, what I needed for the so-called adventures I wanted to do was something somewhere between the Scrambler and the Tiger, and the Guzzi is the perfect answer for this. In the video you can see me riding Mod, my new V85, on the types of dirt roads I feel comfortable riding, the roads I want to ride. I realized, and maybe you will too after you try it, that riding much more technical roads than this isn't all that much fun. It's mostly just work. And who wants that? If you've been following the news, you've probably heard that Ewan and Charlie are at it again. They're doing a 10,000 mile trip from Scotland to England. How the hell is that 10,000 miles, you ask? Well, they're taking back roads. Anyway, while I'm a huge fan, there probably aren't two people alive who are more responsible for the hype and trendiness of big ADV bikes than Ewan and Charlie. Their adventures led to thousands of otherwise reasonable folks, including probably myself, to buy bikes they didn't need and probably didn't want. But this time they've come to their senses and are riding sweet, sensible vintage bikes. In fact, Ewan McGregor's going to be on a Moto Guzzi. How sweet is that? I think that just increased the resale value of my V85 by 60%. Nice. My point in all of this is, if you're in the market for an adventure bike, first look at what you already have and see if that'll do. If you're hell-bent on getting a new bike, and trust me, I get it. Oh, I get it. Think about whether you need the latest and greatest BMW GS 2700 R44 Special Edition Limited, or if something like the Royal Enfield Himalayan might be the perfect choice. Have you tried one? I rode the previous version and, while it felt a bit like farm equipment, it had a certain charm. Are you really going to be conquering mountains, or are you more into nice dirt roads in the forest? If it's the latter, just about any bike will do. How about a Scrambler? As you may have heard, I quite like my Scrambler 900. The Royal Enfield Bear 650 is hotness as well. If you're looking for a new bike, do you really need heated seats, 15 riding modes, and something that I find kind of overkill, electronically adjustable suspension? I mean, we're talking motorcycles here, not Teslas. The majority of us aren't transversing Africa. We're going camping for the weekend, or, like me, doing a cross-country adventure that'll be 99% paved roads. A lot of modern adventure bikes go too far into the overkill category, and that's wasteful. Not only that, it detracts from the pure enjoyment of riding a finely tuned yet simple machine like the V85. The Tiger had so much fork dive in order to make it great in extreme off-road conditions that it felt like I'd end up scraping my chin on the pavement every time I hit the brakes hard on the road, which is where the bike lived more than 90% of its life. The compromises big ADV bikes make for the extremes can ruin the experience we have riding on our own average situations. Listen, I get it. Big ADV bikes like the Tiger, the BMWs, the KTMs, and so on are sexy as hell, and they push us to dream of adventures that can be both beyond our means and our abilities. But from personal experience, I can tell you that owning too much bike is more of a burden than it is an advantage. And that's why I like the Moto Guzzi so much. It's exactly the right amount of bike for what I'm realistically going to do with it. It doesn't push me too far out of my comfort zone. In fact, it kind of keeps me out of trouble. Not all of it, but the really bad trouble. So if you ever come to a point in your life where you decide you want an adventure bike, think long and hard about what adventure really means to you, and buy a bike to match. Don't fall for the hype around big expensive ADV bikes. Your money is better spent on finding the bike that's perfectly suited to the kinds of riding you actually do, not the kinds of riding only Ewan and Charlie can afford to do.